So a few days ago, I just so happened to see AI pop up in a rather unexpected place, a jump scare, if you will. Forgive me if you have not been indoctrinated into the daily happenings of the RuPaul's Drag Race fandom, but basically the show's official YouTube channel posted an animated short called Jinx and Plasma's Gay Adventure. The now deleted short has some cute 2D drawn animation featuring Jinx Monsoon and Plasma, two popular queens from the series, taking a journey on some sort of Willy Wonka-esque riverboat. As the short goes on, something strange starts to happen. Basically, Jinx and Plasma are suddenly transformed into AI humanoid versions of themselves, and suddenly the whole short becomes uncanny and very bizarre looking. At some points they even use footage from the actual show that clearly was transformed by whatever AI software that they ran it through. The short was not received well and left its audience with more questions than answers. After the online backlash, it simply vanished off the channel without a trace. To my knowledge, Drag Race has not acknowledged that it was ever posted, much less why. The reason why I never expected to see AI, at least so soon, in a place like the Drag Race YouTube channel is because, they tout themselves as a place where queer creatives can come and platform their art and, show off their voices in a way that is unrestricted, right? Additionally, Drag Race has a left-leaning fan base, and people who lean more to the left tend to be more reserved when it comes to the use of AI, as opposed to conservatives who love rolling around in the modern-day phenomenon known as AI slop. But I think this situation represents an important truth in the age of AI, in the AI era, which is that even institutions that you respect and people you respect are going to get involved with AI eventually, right? And the question is whether or not they're doing it ethically and whether or not that even matters.
Not to mention Tiny Tim. I mean, where the hell has Tiny Tim been lately? If we can figure out how to create AI that's going to decimate society as we know it in the next 3 to 5 years, then surely we can find a way to bring Tiny Tim back first. But I digress, because I can. And because I recently quit smoking. Unlike old ChatGPT, who's always right on topic and would never quit smoking, because frankly, Buddy Boy wouldn't even think to start.
Natasha Lyonne is a popular actress who has probably starred in something that you've watched or liked, such as Poker Face or Russian Doll or But I'm a Cheerleader. Lyonne is going to be making her directorial debut pretty soon on a film aptly titled Uncanny Valley. The film is set in the world of immersive video games and is said to blend live action and game elements, which is all well and good except for the fact that the film's creatives and producers are proudly boasting that elements of it will be produced utilizing AI technology. Those elements are being developed by Asteria, a new AI-focused production company that Natasha Lyonne founded along with her partner, director and producer Bryn Musser. Natasha claims that Asteria is charting a new path forward in what is called ethical AI, meaning that whatever visuals are generated here will be sourced properly. This feat will be accomplished by using an AI model created by the tech startup Moon Valley, which is reportedly being trained entirely on licensed material whose original creators were properly compensated. If you are unfamiliar, a lot of the AI slop that you see online was generated using models that steal from creatives without properly compensating them, and because AI is not regulated and it's basically the Wild West out here, there is no infrastructure for that kind of exchange to take place currently. For example, YouTube videos are being used to train Google's AI model, and as of now, creators do not have a way to opt in or out of this. It's just the price we pay for doing business with the platform. Now, most people probably saw the headline, Natasha Lyonne to make AI-generated movie, and they went, well, I hate that, and did not make it a point to understand any of the nuances of what is actually happening here. However, and this is an argument that I go back and forth on, right? Does any of that nuance even matter? Here's what I mean. Natasha is clearly very passionate about the use of ethical AI. Check out this quote from her interview with THR following the backlash. Of course the movie's going to be shot like a real movie. Now I'm really threatening to just shoot it on 35mm or something to prove the point because we are using real-life human cinematographers and production designers and all of that. I'm a Mr. Movie Phone. There's nothing I love more than movies. Cinema is my very celluloid blood that runs through these veins. I love nothing more than filmmaking, the filmmaking community, the collaboration of it, the tactile fine art of it. I love every aspect of it. It's so incredible. I understand my own church in a way, even when the rest of the world doesn't make sense. in no way would I ever want to do anything other than really create some guardrails or a new language. Her whole point is that AI is coming for the film and television industry whether we want it to or not, so piloting the use of it in a more ethical sense is better than turning a blind eye to it altogether, right? I've covered this before on the channel, but in a technical sense, in terms of editing and VFX and post-production, there is a very blurry line as far as what is considered AI and what isn't. An example from earlier this year was the controversy surrounding the film The Brutalist using an AI tool to touch up Adrian Brody's Hungarian accent work. But tools like this have been used in post-production long before the term artificial intelligence was developed as a sort of negative catch-all. Where does the barrier end between a piece of technology that helps humans produce better creative work and a piece of technology that replaces that human in the equation altogether? This is the problem that I don't think Natasha Lyonne has adequately addressed in her responses when talking about this issue. Because sure, your AI model can be ethically trained. It could be using work that was, fairly compensated. The creators on the other end of that work were all squared away and everything's all well and good. But the principle of the thing is that maybe that AI that you're using to generate background assets or whatever could theoretically be taking a job away from a post-production artist or an editor or a VFX creator. So the backlash to all of this was pretty intense to begin with, but then it really kicked up after another interview that Natasha did where she claimed that the late great director David Lynch told her that he thought AI was good actually. Apparently Natasha and Lynch were neighbors, and one day she asked him about the topic and he reportedly said, quote, "Natasha," he said, "this is a pencil. Everyone has access to a pencil, and likewise, everyone with a phone will be using AI if they aren't already. It's how you use the pencil," he told her. You see? Now, there is no way of knowing whether or not this actually happened. I'm inclined to believe that it didn't, although that is a weird thing to make up, but either way, using a dead man's words to justify your own actions is a little bit ick to me, I don't know. Especially because, and this goes back to the silent problem here that's bigger than an individual AI use case in a way, David Lynch couldn't get his final projects made because he couldn't secure funding, because no studio or streamer will take a financial risk anymore, even for one of the most iconic creatives to ever walk this earth. And an industry that won't value creatives when they're here only to turn around and lionize them when they die and then pretend like they were never part of the initial problem likely does not value the humanity at the core of this issue. Sure, they can all get on board with an ethical AI model because there's a profit exchange occurring there, but the problem is that nobody cares about the stuff that doesn't have to do with the money. The use of AI is coming to the entertainment world whether we like it or not. They're just hiding it right now until it's not taboo anymore. But here's what's happening while they pretend that they're still against it. An Elon Musk-owned AI supercomputer is currently polluting the air quality in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's only expected to get worse. CEOs are warning that AI will wipe out half of all white-collar jobs. This could all be stopped or at least regulated in a way that makes sense for the current time and era that we're living in if the folks in charge decided that they simply cared about people and what happens to them. There are ethical uses for this technology. There are ways that it is innovating in industries that we don't even know about or that we rarely hear about. But the issue is that you constantly just hear about the evil that is running rampant unchecked in comparison. I fully believe that Natasha Lyonne thinks she is doing the right thing because she's doing more than the people behind the scenes in the industry who know they're using AI for insidious reasons. I believe that if every entertainment company had it their way, they would just be putting out AI slop like that short on the Drag Race channel because they don't value art or people and they want you to be okay with that. And right now, because it's new and scary, most people aren't okay with that. They see the ethical concerns in it and they're raising them accordingly. But I fear that this technology is going to get so advanced that AI slop will become a thing of the past. There will be no way to distinguish real art from art generated by a facility that's killing your grandma and causing the fish in the creek to grow legs. They're banking on us either learning not to care or camouflaging their tactics so well that there's not a reason to make a fuss in the first place. And in some ways, some people don't care anymore. If you've been on Twitter in the last few days, maybe you've seen this 16 carriages meme where people are using AI to alter Beyonce's tour photography as a joke. These posts all have a ton of likes, and I'm sure that if you asked some of these people liking them, they would have some sort of negative sentiment as a gut reaction around AI technology, but they're just not even registering that it was used to create something this innocuous. Before I made this video, because I was really struggling to come up with a topic about like what to talk about this week, and I posted just like, you know, a community post in jest about how if I couldn't come up with a topic, I was just gonna title it like Labubu, AI, chocolate, Dubai, latte, Love Island, or whatever. And I was just gonna kind of go on a rant about how like that collection of words is how I feel and how I engage with the world all the time now, if that makes sense. And then, while that sentiment is obviously comedic in nature, you know, to be taken in jest, obviously, I do feel like the current, like, disconnect that we all feel and, you know, every day waking up and not understanding, like, some new trend or meme or being just generally grossed out by the overconsumption that we all seem to be enthralled in that takes over every social media algorithm in our lives, right? I feel like the real world is also becoming AI slop. That's like the best way I can describe it. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I feel. It's not a great feeling. For example, I came across this tweet about a store in Florida that's selling Dubai chocolate Labubu items. If you're unfamiliar, Dubai chocolate is chocolate with pistachio filling that became really trendy and popular in the last few years, and Labubus are the new Beanie Baby, Tamagotchi, blind box phenomenon, you know, they're a toy that people of all ages love. And like, doesn't this look like a thing you would throw into an AI image generator? A couple of things that don't really go together but are popular and now they're their own bastardized version of an item that really just represents a culture of overconsumption and nothingness. I feel the same way about the Benson Boone Crumble collab, you know, the Moonbeam ice cream cookie? Like, sure, marketing collabs have always been a thing, especially like food marketing collabs. We all remember, you know, the Travis Scott McDonald's meal. Like, that's not a new thing. But I just look at this and I'm like, this is AI generated. This is an AI generated idea. My overall point being that I can't help but feeling like everything around me is slowly morphing into the same kind of indistinguishable AI generated or AI inspired slop garbage. And I bet celebrities like Natasha Lyonne are feeling this squeeze and feeling this pressure, especially as AI technology continues to be more normalized and integrated into industries like television and film. But I think the decision to embrace this technology in a somewhat ethical way is being undercut by the way that everyone else in the world is currently operating unethically. I don't necessarily think Natasha's idea is a bad one. The notion that if this technology is going to be pervasive in a lot of our creative endeavors going forward, the least we can do is find a sustainable way to credit the actual creatives that the AI models are taking from. And she's probably not the first of her kind in the industry to be thinking this way, she's just the loudest. And if we weren't talking about something as controversial and polarizing and kind of insidious as AI, that would maybe be more commendable. Because the alternative here is that all of these production companies and streamers and marketing agencies are probably already using AI technology in whatever it is that they're producing, they are just not being loud about it because of how controversial it currently is. I mean, I don't know about you, but every time I watch cable TV and I'm looking at commercials, I feel like what I'm watching is AI generated. Maybe I'm just like extremely paranoid now with what I'm viewing and it's becoming harder again to distinguish. Or maybe perhaps a lot of these companies are trying to style their visuals in a way that already look like AI to get us more used to it. An example I'm thinking of off the top of my head is that Wicked teaser. It's all here to stay no matter how uncomfortable it makes you. But that doesn't mean that it's easy for me to be able to buy into whatever Natasha is trying to sell here. I fear that the world is ending and even those looking to make the world a better or more ethical place are being overshadowed by those with more power who are constantly looking for ways to monetize the rot. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go watch Labubu blind unboxing videos until my prefrontal cortex is so fried that everything starts making sense again.
Keep getting the wrong Labubu color, like I'm sick of this shit! I hate you so much! I spent $300 on these stupid Labubus, bro. I want a pink one. That's the one I've been trying to get. If this isn't pink, bro, I'm crashing out.